Michigan Magazine is kept on the road by our many Michigan friends. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare, a winning combination. Cops and Donuts. The Michigan-made rebounding mailbox pole. Never again worry about the winter snowplow taking out your mailbox with this ingenious rebounding pole. Your mailbox takes a hit and keeps coming back year after year. Call now or visit their website, toughmailboxes.com.
Vacation. Don't make the planning of it more than what you're trying to get away from. At northernmichigancabinrentals.com, you can choose from over 2,500 cabins, cottages, lodges, resorts, lakefront vacation home rentals, and more. Whatever experience you're looking for, from rustic to luxury and everything in between. No more rustling with telephone books. No more endless internet searches. Just one site with over 2,500 Northern Michigan destinations. northernmichigancabinrentals.com.
On this week's Michigan Magazine, it's Morel Mushroom season. Join us for our annual trek into the northern Michigan hardwoods to gather these delicious spring morsels. Then to a classic Michigan restaurant in Mount Pleasant. A converted train station, Mountain Town Station, awaits us for a delicious experience. Then geocaching is the word of the day, with tips for beginners on finding that elusive geocache. That's all coming up on today's Geosnippits with Andy Hardhat Smith on Michigan Magazine. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare. What began as a crazy idea among 9 police officers to purchase the historic Clare City Bakery quickly became an international phenomenon, carrying on a Michigan tradition with delicious donuts, pies, pastries, breads, original coffee, and more. Plus a full menu at the new adjacent Traffic Stop Diner. Downtown Clare, a winning combination. Cops and Donuts. Hingeman Acres Canoe Livery and Resort on M33 just north of Mayo, catering to the outdoor enthusiasts. Cabins, canoes, kayaks, rafts, and more. Daytime or overnight trips along the world-famous Asabo River. A family getaway for over 75 years. Your northern experience is never complete without a stop at the historic Ma Dieters of Luzerne. Enjoy the ambiance inside or outside on the huge patio area. Order from the complete menu with entrees served hot, fresh, and good. Come experience Ma Dieters in the heart of God's country, Luzerne, Michigan.
Well, my gosh, we got a kind of a misty day, Paul, that we could use a little sunshine. But we just hope that it's going to work out all right down here. You might wonder what we're doing up here today. It's kind of an overcast day, misty day, but it is springtime and there is a delicious mushroom out up here in northern Michigan. It's called Morel. And with me is Paul Pasternak. He's been picking mushrooms for how many years, Paul?
15 or 20.
15 or 20. And he knows the morels, and he knows which is the good mushrooms from the bad mushrooms. And we're going to get some good mushrooms, the morels, and he's going to take us back then to the house, and he's going to show us how to fix these delicious morsels. Paul, do you have a certain way that you identify, that you really look for when looking for a morel?
No, not really. Just a good sharp eye is what you got to have. And once you find one, if you just move around that first one you find, there's going to be more.
Is there, there's usually more. They come in
Oh yes,
clumps.
oh yes.
Okay.
It's rare that you will find just a lone soldier out here. Usually if you walk into a circle and keep going around, you're going to find more.
When you find, is there a certain tree, do they kind of grow in a certain area?
I generally look in a mixture of popple and hardwood, maple.
Now there is a difference between these, and there is another one that looks similar to this.
There is a false morel, and the characteristic of the false morel are quite similar to these, except the false morel, the stem comes up to the thick part here. On the false morel, the stem goes all the way up like an umbrella, and the cap just sets on top of the stem.
Oh.
The stem on these are hollow. On the false morel, the stem is full. It has a white composition of some kind, snow white, and the stem is full completely, where these are hollow.
What's really nice about the morel picking, it's really a beautiful time of the year.
Oh, yes.
Everything is starting to bud out.
Right.
Dogwood and the violets and all the rest of this stuff. So it's a good time for really the kids, the family, to get out and come up here and we're out in the woods and pick these
Right.
tasty
Absolutely.
morsels. So let's go back to the kitchen, Paul, and
Okay.
see
Cook them
how
up.
you prepare these up.
Okay.
You cut them in two, then you soak them overnight or something?
No, I put them into boiling water for about 3 minutes. Kind of pre-cook them. And then I finish cooking in a frying pan with the onions and a little salt and pepper, a little parsley flake, and then put my eggs in there, and that's a feast fit for a king right there.
Oh boy. Well, this is the first time that I've tried this morel with scrambled eggs, so excellent. The only way I've ever had morels before was with steak or eaten by itself. Oh. Mmm. Isn't that good? Great. These are deep fried. Delicious.
Like eating peanuts, you can't stop.
Paul's not going to give out his hideaway where he's getting these babies at.
I'll make you a sample, though.
But he'll sure make you a sample. Paul, thanks again for being on Michigan Magazine.
Thank you.
Oh, delicious.
Well, hello and welcome to Geosnippits for Michigan Magazine Television. I'm Head Hard Hat. In the next few minutes, we're going to give you some interesting information and tidbits about the game, the sport, yes, the obsession, known as geocaching. Today's episode, we're going to be doing what I call GeoBasics. This is for geocachers who are just starting out and just to give them that little bit of extra information so that when they go geocaching, it makes their geocaching trip that much more enjoyable. Today's GeoBasics is going to be on how to find geocaches once you reach ground zero. Let's start now. Alright, you've got your geocache on your GPS unit. You're ready to find it. You're almost to ground zero. In other words, the distance on your GPS says it's 0 or close to 0. What you need to do next, believe it or not, is to take that GPS once you're close to ground zero and put it in your pocket. That's right, put it in your pocket, open up your eyes, and start looking. That's the key to geocaching. Don't keep following that GPSR because you're going to keep going in circles, driving yourself crazy. When you get close to ground zero, put that GPS away. Then start looking. Now, one of the big secrets of finding a geocache once you find ground zero is to do a spiral circle, further and further from ground zero until eventually you find the geocache. One of the first things that you want to do when you find ground zero is to scan the area. Look all around to see where the available hiding spots could be for a geocache. Try to remember the size that you're looking for because that's key. If you're looking for a small, in a place like this, it could be anywhere. But if you're looking for a regular or a large, that narrows down the places that you can go. For example, you're looking at a spot right now. Check this out. Now when you get close to ground zero and you're looking for a regular or a large geocache, there are certain things that you can look for all the time. Some of them are things like stumps, hollowed out logs, and also something that I call the TP sticks. And that's actually what you're looking at right here. Let me show you by example. This is what I call the TP sticks. A lot of times what geocachers will find are fallen trees, like example for here and here, which makes a nice little cubby hole for some type of geocache. They then cover it with leaves, and in this case pine needles and leaves, and then cover it with sticks, usually in this straight pattern. That's the TP of sticks. Always do. Hear that noise? Tell from that right off the bat, ammo box. Poke it with a stick. And here you have a small-sized geocache ammo box. Excellent. Another area in the woods that you might find geocaches is around rocks. Again, you have to be extremely careful because there might be critters around here. We're actually by a drainage ditch which also could have critters in it. Be very careful when looking around rocks. Remember to poke it with a stick first because you never know. you might find a geocache there.
Here's a prime example of a beautiful gnome hole in a log or a stump. Again, poke it with the stick because you never know what's inside. With this right here, either in the top or down in here, perfect place to hide a geocache.
Well, let's quickly go over what we learned today. We learned that geocaching in the woods is a lot of fun. You need to be prepared, though, while you're out in the woods for things that may get you injured. In other words, watch out for those snakes, spiders, and poisonous plants. Be prepared, it'll keep you safe. We also learned that when you find ground zero, put that GPS in your pocket and start looking with your eyes. That's the best way to find that geocache. Find ground zero, work your way around in larger and larger circles until you find it. That's my best advice to you.
Michigan Magazine is being brought to you in part by Something Special's cooking hot and delicious. Indulge yourself at Morning at Maggie's in Bay City. Omelets, frittatas, hotcakes, and more. Make every day special with a stop at Morning at Maggie's for breakfast or lunch on Saginaw in Bay City. Hale Hardware, your do-it center in Hale, Michigan. Much more than a regular hardware store, providing everything you need for whatever your project is, along with a knowledgeable sales staff to get her done. Serving Northern Michigan since 1946. Hale Hardware, south of M65 at Ainsley in Hale. Rose City Drug, just south of the Rose City city limits at 2640 North M33, featuring a state-of-the-art, completely automated and extremely accurate computer-filled prescription process.
Here at Rose City Drug, we're family-owned and operated for over 20 years. We offer fast and friendly service, and we always take the extra step to make sure your needs are fulfilled.
Deep within the heart of Michigan's Lower Peninsula lies a family dining experience like no other. Here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan is the historic Mountain Town Station. It's our next stop on Michigan Magazine. The Mountain Town Station is an historic railroad station that's been renovated into one of the area's premier dining locations. Besides family dining, you'll find an excellent microbrewery boasting a variety of local recipes. Mountain Town Station, Jim Holton, it's a pleasure being here.
My pleasure to have you guys here today.
It's a neat restaurant, fine food, it's also a brewery, and it's also a dinner trade too.
Yes, it is.
Accommodation here. I'll be talking about the restaurant and a little bit about the brew pubs. Now, what can we see behind the big doors here?
Boy, a long time ago I had an idea to open up a brewery and a restaurant in Mount Pleasant. I was a college student up here and went to a couple of places, did some research on it, and got some financing from some banks and opened up Mountain Town Station. And it turned out to be a lot bigger than I anticipated, but that's okay. We really love what we do here, and it's a great time.
Well, that's a simple sounding operation. I mean, the plan, you saw the plan, you went for it and you got it, and everything came together really nice.
Yes.
How's the community been treating you?
They love it.
Really?
It's really a gem for this community. I love being in this community for the most part, and people love it that we're down here.
Right, you got first-class meals here too.
Yes.
I mean, you got some pretty
award-winning meals here. Absolutely.
Chefs out back here.
Yep.
And also, when we say brewery, we are not just saying one type of
12 different styles of beers.
styles of
Everything
beer.
from a light to a dark that we have over here.
Okay,
Not too bad at all, yeah.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the operation if we could just
Love
a bit.
to. Well, we're open up Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay.
Friday, Saturday from 11:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. and then Sunday, 11:30 to 9. Open for lunches Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And what do you specialize in here?
Our ribs are award-winning. Yep, we have trophies up and down our counters. You'll see when we go in there, award-winning ribs, yes.
Oh my, do you think we might be able to taste them?
We might be able to try a little bit there, yeah.
Okay. Let's take a jaunder in here if we
Let's
could.
do that.
This way? Okay. Jim, this has got a lot of history to this building too. Tell
Very
us
much
a
so.
little
This is an old train station. It was built in 1884. It was a passenger train station until 1959, somewhere around there, when planes took over. Planes and automobiles from there, actually automobiles. And we bought it as an old closed-up condemned building itself. And I'll show you some pictures of that too along the way. We have it in the building here. We renovated the building. You'll see the interior here. The green ceiling is the original structure. We just added everything around the structure itself. Keeping the train theme in mind with Mountain Town Station, train items around. I think you'll really enjoy it.
So you must have had quite an eye for this when you saw this building sitting here.
It was an interesting project. There's no doubt about that.
Okay.
Take a look at this picture up over here. This is the old train station itself.
Okay.
Up over there. And then we just added on to it and made it look a lot prettier than it was when we got into it. It was really beat up, but it was fun. A lot of sweat, a lot of days here every single day, dumpster after dumpster, throwing away items that were in here, old items. We found out there were 3 fires in this building, so a lot of charred cinder, a lot of charring in the walls, those type of things. So It's a lot of work, yeah. When I was here as a student and bringing my folks up, and I'd be dating other women type of things, it was very hard to find different places to go to in town. There are excellent restaurants in town, there still are, but the variety like this restaurant here, which was a totally different concept, very relaxed, kind of middle scale, good food, great variety in menu, not a chain. That's what I wanted to see.
Yeah, that's what I like it too. When I came to the door, I saw your hostess there. She had a smile. You have a smile. Everybody's smiling.
It's fun. And I'll tell you one thing, we have a good family of employees here. Like I said, we're not a chain. I have people here that have been working with me for 8 years here. They don't leave, which is nice to have them around here. We don't hire many people. 1 in 2,000 applications will get hired in here. There's no turnover at all. So we treat them like family. We have a great time together as a staff, and I treat them fairly. And they treat me fairly too.
Yes. Well, how did you go into the brewery aspect of it? Was that the second part of it?
I was brewing in college, actually.
You were doing it?
Yeah, brewing in college, and it was cheaper to do it that way than trying to buy beer itself. And then I went to a brew pub in Illinois, and I looked at it and said, this would be an outstanding thing to do in Mount Pleasant, the large copper kettles that we'll see in a little bit.
Okay.
And just formulated a plan 4 years after that to make it happen from there.
Yeah.
It was very hard to get it started, but we got through it, and it was really exciting.
Yeah, like you said, it was harder than perhaps you saw mentally, but it's a nice little patio area, too. You utilize quite a bit,
Absolutely, yeah. We've had parties of 80 to 100 people out here.
Really?
We'll do an outdoor barbecue package for them. We've done wedding receptions out here. They'll decorate all the railings and things like that. They really have a nice time out here. Obviously, in Michigan, the weather can change on you pretty quickly, but we've been real successful with this out here. Our brewery is almost exactly the same as Anheuser-Busch or Miller Brewing Company. The difference is our brewery fits in this entire room. They have tanks the size of this room. So that's why they call it a microbrewery itself. This is the main core of the mixing process right through these kettles over here. This is the mash tun. The one on the right is the kettle. This is where all the ingredients come together, 2,000 to 3,000 pounds of grain per batch of beer that we do. The process takes about 6 to 7 hours to mix and blend them, boil them, extract the sugars from all the raw ingredients that I put together here. When it's all said and done here, I transfer it up top to one of these 5 fermentation vessels up there. That's where the actual process of turning a sweet fluid into beer happens. That's where the yeast actually consumes the sugars. Yes, up top over there. That takes about 7 days up there to finish this process up there. So the total, by the time you get said and done, you're about 10 to 15 days for a beer to get ready for drinking here in the station itself. When it's all done fermenting up top, we'll transfer it to one of these tanks behind the monoblocks here. These over here are called the serving tanks. These tanks are pressurized and refrigerated and go directly to the tap towers here in Mountain Town Station. It's the freshest beer you can actually consume. There's no preservatives, there's no pasteurization of this beer itself.
My goodness.
Yes.
Well, what size is this?
We just did a little full rack for you.
Full rack, okay.
Yeah, just to see what you thought about that.
Oh my goodness. My goodness.
Thank you very much.
Now this is a man-sized piece of meat here. So there you have it. When you think you've experienced or tasted it all in Michigan, there's a place like Mountain Town Station in Mount Pleasant that comes rolling down the line with an enthusiastic staff and management serving up heaping helpings of hospitality right along with their huge menu of extraordinarily delicious food and beverages. Big thanks to the whole crew for another day of great Michigan discoveries just off the beaten path. Rose Valley Winery on Beechwood Road in Rose City. See what thousands are raving about, creating a delicious variety of award-winning Michigan wines. Stop by and taste for yourself. The taste of Michigan is yours at Rose Valley Winery. Experience the beauty, artistry, and taste of Northern Michigan. Come to Amish Country Natural Products on Mount Tom Road, north of Mile, just off M33. From arts and crafts to fresh foods and vegetables, all natural, all local, all good. Stop by and get acquainted with Amish Country Natural Products, 1454 North Mount Tom Road, Mile. Thanks for joining us for another edition of Michigan Magazine. We're wishing you the best spring ever here in the Great Lakes State. Good hunting with both your Morel Mushroom and geocache adventures. And that brings us to the phrase of the week. It's Morel Mushroom season in Michigan. You know what to do. Do it now for a chance to win for Michigan Magazine. And don't forget to tune into my daily SoundClouds for all the up-to-the-minute happenings and travels. Have a great week, and we'll see you on the next edition of Michigan Magazine. We'd like to thank all those that help keep Michigan Magazine on the road. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare, a winning combination. Cops and Donuts.
Clemix Sales and Service on Mapes Road, west of Mile, your complete recreational vehicle sales and service connection. Visit their beautiful showroom of new and pre-owned ATVs, lawnmowers, power equipment, snowmobiles, utility vehicles, and more. Clemix Sales and Service is also the home of the American-made Victory motorcycle line on display at Clemix on Mapes Road, Mile. Luzerne Express Campground is the premier campground with everything to make your northern adventure complete. Modern and rustic campsites, equestrian campers welcome, a huge market with bakery and deli, nearby RV, hiking, and horse trails, along with a complete canoe, raft, and kayak rental. Visit us online, then call for more information and reserve your spot today. Announcing the Michigan Paddle Sports Directory, your one-stop internet connection. At MichiganPaddlesports.com, it's now possible to explore Michigan's extensive waterways like never before. Michigan Paddle Sports Directory is a comprehensive directory of canoe and kayak rentals and liveries throughout the entire state of Michigan. At MichiganPaddlesports.com, you'll find a great paddling route, outfitter, store, school, rental shop, or tour guide. Michigan's great waterways are waiting for you. Make it an adventure worth remembering by first visiting MichiganPaddlesports.com.